I want to preach tonight using as a subject, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Where can I enjoy myself without being judged?
Sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening.
But Lord said, I want to make a multi-millionaire out of someone, but they have to sow $10,000. He said, and they have to do that within 90 seconds.
Why? Because everybody can be compromised except you. Yeah. If you don't believe in God, then it's pretty much.
Imagine giving your last little church money because the pastor says God is about to bless you, then 2 minutes later you find out somebody else's offering might have been paying for a luxury watch, a vacation, a truck, a designer shopping spree, or somebody's secret life that nobody in the front row knew about, and now Katt Williams is sitting somewhere like, I already told you, stop acting like a microphone and a Bible make a man untouchable, because this pastor drama is not just one awkward clip, it is baby mama claims, missing money, donation pressure, public call-outs, luxury receipts, and church folks realizing the offering plate might have been doing more traveling than the congregation. So hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments if Katt was reaching or if he saw this whole mess coming, because once you hear how some of these stories connect, it starts feeling less like church gossip and more like somebody turned faith into a payment plan.
The Bible said, do not put your trust in men. Pretty specific. If you don't believe in God, then it's pretty messed up because now you only got you to believe in. But if you got you and God, you can believe in both of those. I talk to God 5 and 6 times a day. He has an accurate account of how I'm feeling about everything, how I think things are going, what I feel like I'm doing good at, what I feel like I need help with. These are our conversations, so I don't wonder why stuff gets moved out of my way because I asked for things to be moved out of my way.
And the first story already comes in messy because Jamal Bryant is out here preaching about fathers, leadership, and responsibility. Then right around Father's Day, a woman pops up claiming he has a son he allegedly has not been properly showing up for. And the detail that made people freeze was not even the MySpace part. Even though meeting a pastor on MySpace already sounds like a scandal with a flip phone attached, it was the claim that the last child support payment she got was $96. 96, not 900, not a quiet private school check, $96. And people immediately started asking how you can stand in front of a congregation talking about black fathers, broken homes, and family values, while someone is publicly saying your own child got treated like an afterthought, because according to her, this was not some random situation where nobody knew what was going on. She claimed Jamal reached out years ago, asked for a massage, said his marriage situation was basically falling apart, and then somehow
Latoya Odom.
Tasha K.
Are you Jamal Bryant, the preacher, the minister, the fornicator? Is he your baby daddy?
He is.
Is he a present father?
Never has been.
How did you meet Mr. Bryant?
He found me on MySpace. This is how old this is. He befriends me on MySpace, and then I start looking into all of his little profiles. Like, oh, he's married. He just asked me to be his massage therapist. So I'm trying to figure out the 2 and 2, like what is going on. And he was like, well, I'm going through a divorce. He's like, I want to get a massage. Come to the hotel. I'll pay you whatever. And I'm going to church tonight. This is when it gets crazy. He said I seduced him.
You massaged?
Yeah, I massaged him.
Naked?
Next thing I know, clothes coming off. So we have sex.
Protected?
No. Louisiana people say, you know how you could tell there's alligators in the water? Go and test the water. Is it wet? The alligator's in the water. So you know I'm fertile. I just told you. So you came to the water wet, with no condom, no nothing.
He nutted it.
the whole thing allegedly moved from professional to personal so fast that even the congregation would have needed a prayer cloth. But here's the part that keeps people stuck. It is not just the alleged hotel moment, it is the way she described what happened after. Because once a child is involved, the scandal is no longer about grown people being messy, it becomes about whether the man who preaches responsibility is living by the same rules he gives everybody else. And that is why the Father's Day timing made the whole thing feel extra loud because the calendar did not whisper, it screamed. Then, before anybody could even finish arguing about that, Jamal's name was already tied to another messy conversation, the Target boycott drama, and this one was different because it was not about romance or family, it was about influence, who gets to speak for the community, and who gets to walk into a movement after the work is already hot because grassroots organizers had already been pushing back against Target over DEI changes. Then Jamal steps in with a church fast, gets attention on it, and at first, people are thinking, okay, maybe the churches can help pressure Target, but then he announces that the boycott is basically over, and the original organizers are looking around like, wait, who gave him the remote? Because from their side,
we are asking people continue to stand with grassroots leadership in the state of Minnesota, where Target is actually headquartered, and not clout chasers, not fake pastors, not fake activists trying to co-opt our work. These people have received awards from the National Association of the NAACP and the Route 100 for our work. So they have no credibility. They don't speak for us. They didn't stand in the gaps for us when George Floyd was killed or when Operation Metro Surge happened. We stood for us and with the community. We speak for us, and we will never sell out our community for crumbs or a seat at Target's corrupt table. So we are asking people, continue to double down and hold Target accountable. The boycott continues. Thank you.
Target had not really reversed the issue, and that so-called money pledge being talked about was not exactly fresh new victory money either. So now the question shifts from, is he helping to, is he hijacking the spotlight? And once people start calling a pastor a clout chaser in public, that is not a tiny misunderstanding. That is the community saying your halo is flickering. But Jamal is only one lane in this traffic jam because Marvin Winans gave people a whole different kind of church clip to argue over, and this one went viral because it looked like the offering plate got a customer service policy. A woman comes up giving $1,000 plus $235, which, to normal people, is already serious money. Rent help, groceries, bills, real-life money. And instead of the moment feeling like gratitude, it turned into a correction because the amount being requested was basically $1,000 plus $1,000. And suddenly everybody watching was asking the same thing. Are we in church, or did somebody miss a membership tier? Because the way it sounded to people was, thank you for the blessing, but please upgrade to the premium miracle package. And yes, Marvin later said it was a misunderstanding with donation lines and giving levels, but people had already seen enough to start side-eyeing the whole prosperity-style routine, because anytime someone says God needs you to move in 90 seconds with thousands of dollars, regular folks are going to ask why heaven suddenly sounds like a flash sale.
Insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded. People got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now you got to help some people because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, I needed to set the record straight. Y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress. And I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't mad to y'all, she mad to me.
And that is the exact pressure point Katt was talking about, not whether people should have faith, but whether they should let another human being use faith to rush them, guilt them, and make them feel spiritually broke if they do not pay fast enough. Then the story goes from viral clip messy to federal case messy because Adrian Durrell Davis was sentenced after authorities said he stole hundreds of thousands from his church, and the details sound like somebody wrote a parody of a greedy preacher and then made it real. An Audi, Bentley, a GMC Yukon, designer shopping, Louis Vuitton, jewelry, sneakers, a watch that cost more than some people's cars, and credit card bills getting handled with church money, allegedly, the offering was not just going around the room, it was going on a shopping spree. And that is why people get so mad at these cases, because church money has a different emotional weight. It is grandmother money, single mother money, somebody's last 20 after work, somebody giving because they believe they are helping a ministry, helping the poor, helping the building, helping God's work, and then they find out it may have been helping a pastor look expensive, and now every designer belt starts looking like a receipt with a hymn attached. But the mess does not stop there, because Ty Sheila Sherry Amore Dickerson adds another layer. She was connected to preaching and activism, which means people were not just donating because of church feelings, they were donating because they thought the money was helping vulnerable people, bail funds, community needs, people stuck in the system, and according to public allegations,
There has been child support paid to you.
The last payment I received was $96. And John loves him. One day he told me, he said, "Mommy, I love you and I love my daddy."
So he was helping at some point.
John really believes his dad. This is what he said at 2. He said, "Mommy, I want to go see my daddy." So I dressed him up at 2. He was in Atlanta, and I took him. Do you know Jamal never touched him? Just looked at him. They had a staring contest.
You mind if I talk to you, baby? Can you sit down? That's why I don't like him. He's on my platform.
millions were allegedly diverted into personal spending, properties, trips, shopping, food delivery, a vehicle, and that detail hits differently because it shows how easy it can be for someone to speak the language of justice and compassion while allegedly treating donations like a lifestyle fund, and this is where the whole story starts feeling bigger than a few bad pastors, because the pattern is not always the same, but the ingredients keep rhyming: trust, urgency, spiritual language, community, pain, and money moving somewhere the people giving it did not expect. And if that sounds familiar, it is because this has been happening long before social media could turn a church clip into a weekend debate. Henry Lyons had his own major scandal years ago: fraud, money meant for burned churches, restitution, prison time, and a personal life twist so messy, it sounded like somebody spilled gasoline on both the house and the reputation. And that history matters because people keep acting like each new scandal is unbelievable, when really, the unbelievable part is how many times the public has seen a similar movie and still gets told not to ask questions. Now, to be fair, nobody serious is saying every pastor is fake, because there are pastors who actually serve, who visit hospitals, feed people, counsel families, show up when nobody is filming, and do the work without turning the church into a luxury brand. But that is exactly why these other stories hit so hard, because the alleged scammers do not just steal money, they steal trust from the good ones too. They make people side-eye the next offering, the next fundraiser, the next emotional sermon, even when it might be real. And maybe that is why Katt's warning keeps coming back around, because he was not telling people to lose faith, he was telling people to stop confusing faith with blind trust in men who enjoy being treated like they cannot be questioned. Maybe the pulpit does not purify greed, maybe a title does not cancel temptation, maybe a sermon can sound holy while the behavior behind it looks completely different, and maybe the real scandal is not that people gave, it is that some leaders allegedly knew exactly how to make giving feel like proof of loyalty, proof of faith, proof that you were not doubting God, when really, you might have just been funding somebody else's upgrade. So when the church money goes missing, when the excuses get slippery, when the same people preaching sacrifice keep showing up with luxury attached to their name, you have to ask who was really being blessed, the congregation or the person counting the offering. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because at this point, the question is not whether people should believe in God, it is whether they should keep believing every man who claims to be speaking for him.